Hey everybody, how's it going? Let's talk about your home recording studio. Today I think it's time. I've got to clean in here. Man, this place is a mess. I mean, just take a look around. Just kind of stuff, debris, dust, all sorts of stuff. I've been in this room for about 6 months now, and I think I've dusted once. One thing we're learning about Colorado, it's really dusty here. It's just really dry. It's just desert. So we like to have the windows open at night. It's nice and cool. Great climate, but the open windows definitely brings in the dust. So time to do a little tidying up, a little bit of cable management because, you know, look at this disaster. This is just, yeah, this needs help. And also one thing I've noticed is whenever I use the camera angle to where, so I'm almost kind of facing the window now, just using it for some natural light, but when I'm shooting at nighttime and I use the computer desk and that window as a backdrop, it's just not very visually interesting. The beige walls, the beige acoustic treatment, and, you know, let's be honest, a beige host, not very visually interesting. So I grabbed a couple of RGB lights, these Philips Hue things, and I'm gonna give those a try just for kind of a splash of color. I got a couple of just these little cheapo cans, light cans from Walmart. I think they were $7 each or something. And a little bit more, another power strip because I'm running out of power outlets already. And I'm gonna see if I can do something about this. The Wi-Fi router seems to interfere, put out some interference, and my monitor, my speaker picks up that interference. I've got it kind of in a spot now that minimizes it, but it's just awkward. So I'm just gonna try to move those out of the way, get them in a different location. Same with my WD MyCloud. That's my main backup NAS there. That's just my destination for backing up all my files. And just a couple other odds and ends that are on the desk that don't need to be there. And that'll be a good opportunity to break out the dust cloth and clean some of this stuff off because, yeah, it's just a mess here. All right, let's get started. I'll do a little time lapse and, you know, that'll give me an excuse to write a little bit of background music later on tonight or tomorrow. All right, let's get started. Well, that was a lot of work, and I can't say that I really made any positive net difference in the cable management. I don't know. I guess I'm just not very good at cable management. If you take a look at this shot, you can see that all it really looks like I did is add a couple of cable ties. Things are still visible. I've got a bunch of signal cables and power cables all bunched together and running together, which is such a huge no-no. I'm just kind of asking for noise and signal degradation and everything, but I guess I'll just see how it works over the next week or two. And if I have to, I'll dig back into it and do it again. Trying a couple things with the lights a little bit, and I guess here in this shot you can kind of see a red glow over the background, but it's still daylight out, so the light from coming in through the closed blinds is still just kind of overpowering everything there. I don't know. I'm no videographer, so I guess I'll figure it out and try some new settings on the camera, trying something new with the lights here. If I kind of do this, you can see key light over here, fill light over here, just kind of see how that goes. I have no idea. I don't know. There's so many variables with camera work, and it's something that I'm relatively new to. You know, really looking back over the history of this channel is really the history of me trying to figure out how to use a camera. One thing I did do was I moved my router, just the blinking lights kind of way over here in the background, and that was causing some pretty nasty interference with one of my studio monitors. I just tried moving it farther away, just to see if it would help. So far, you know, honestly, I don't hear any interference coming out of that speaker like I usually do. Let's see, I got a couple things off the desk here. Take a look at this shot, and you can see I moved the BAE into the rack. Unfortunately, I am out of plugs on my new extension cord, so I'm not exactly sure where I'm going to plug the BAE in. I wall mounted the little receiver for my Hue lights, which are providing the color back there, and it's also what I use for my main just white lights in the room for just normal everyday use. When I was in the basement looking for network cables, I found my old switch, so I went ahead and plugged that in. I just like having a little bit of indication of status of things that are plugged into the network, so that's kind of nice. I'll have to play a little bit more with lighting and with camera settings and try to just get a little more visual interest in, you know, this is kind of my main shot, my main angle for addressing the camera here, so with hopefully with less of a beigey background, we'll see what we can do. All right, well, I think that's it for me this time. I will see you guys next time.